Welcome back to another episode of Back to the Drawing Board. I'm Alec Bean. Today we're switching it back up. We're looking at the Washington Wizards. I know the NBA is still in season. I know we just had the All-Star break. However, like the Detroit Pistons, the Wizards need to start thinking about the future of their team, whether it's next year, whether it's the year after that. They need to think about the future of their team. I know they just traded for Jordan Poole. They extended Kyle Kuzma, but they got some missing pieces and some big contracts to get rid of. So with that, we're getting rid of two players off the bat. We're getting rid of Marvin Bagley III and Denny Avdija. We don't need that many forwards on our team. They have a lot of forwards. They don't have a lot of size, though. And they combined for around $19 million. So we're going to get rid of them, and now we're going to move on to the draft. Currently I have the projected second overall pick. Now I had the Pistons drafting Zachary or Sasher with that first pick, so it only makes sense that with the second overall pick I have them taking Alexandre Sarr. 7'1" big out of France. This guy, he can do it all. He's kind of like a Nick Claxton, but with a jumper. That's my comparison for him. He could be a generational talent. I can't lie. He does everything. He really does, and he moves well. At 7'1", being able to do a lot of things like that it's a big deal. So with that said, I think Alexandre Sarr could be the future of this Wizards franchise if everything pans out correctly. Now, with their second overall pick of the first round, yes, you heard that right. They have two picks in the first round. This one is in the later round. It's around 26. I have them selecting yet another big that they so desperately need in Ulrich Chomche. He's a great defender. He's a plus-side jump shot. The Wizards need another guy like this. They have a lot. I know they have a lot of forwards, but they don't have a lot of size. They don't have a lot of good forwards at that, too. They got a lot of guards. I think getting a guy like this would be huge. He's great. Like I said, he's great on the defensive end. And I think that it's a big-time need for the Wizards this upcoming season. So with these two moves, we're going to move on to free agency now. They have $37 million in cap space after you get rid of Marvin Bagley III and Denny Avdija. And they need to get a rising star. They need to get a young guy who can rise up to the occasion, that can do a lot. And it's hard to think like, oh, he's getting a lot of money. Like, who knows? Like, this guy isn't that good. But I have a lot of faith in him, and that's OG Anunoby. This guy is projected to get a contract of over $30 million a year. I know what you're thinking. He doesn't average crazy numbers. He doesn't average that 22 and 10, but he can get it done. I think in a star role where he is the number one option, that guy is going to do insane things. He's on the Knicks right now. If you give him a star role like the Knicks gave to Jalen Brunson, I think that this team can do a lot. I think if you are the Wizards and you sit in free agency and think to yourself, I don't want OG Anunoby, I think you're crazy. Because this is a guy that the Wizards absolutely need. And now, for the coaching staff, I didn't think that Wes Unseld Jr. was the guy for the Wizards, and obviously he wasn't. They need to scrap the internal position promotions. I don't get it. I don't get why you're going to take a team who isn't winning and promote a coach that hasn't helped them win. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I know that I had the Pistons signing him too, but if the Wizards can get to Mike Budenholzer and they choose to not sign him, I think they are insane. Mike Budenholzer is a proven winner, championship guy. He got a ring with the Bucks. We saw what he did with the Hawks, where he turned that franchise around. I think that if he's on the market and he's willing to come to Washington, you pull the trigger. I think that with him, this team, they could climb some rankings. Definitely get over double-digit wins, that's for sure. So with these moves, I think that in a few years they can get back to where they once were at prime John Wall and Bradley Beal. But with that said, here are all the changes I made to the Washington Wizards this episode. And that's going to do it for another episode of Back to the Drawing Board. From the UCTV studio, I'm Alec B, and I'll see you next time.